Hi there, Luke here with another video. For those of you unfamiliar with our channel, my husband Tyler and I make travel videos where we document our experiences since moving from North America to the UK. This is our fourth and final video of our four-part Belgium series, where we've been talking about our time that we had in the country of Belgium, with our first two videos focusing on the city of Brussels, as well as day trips that we did from Brussels, and the last video featuring our time in Flanders, the Flemish or Dutch-speaking part of Belgium. In this video, I'm going to talk about the final part of our trip, which focused on the French-speaking region of Belgium called Wallonia. If you enjoy this and our other videos, please be sure to give a comment, like, subscribe, and a tip with the super thanks button if so inclined, as that is always super helpful to this channel. The first region of Wallonia that we want to feature is the city of Namur. Namur is easily accessible by train and public transport and is only about an hour south of Brussels. Namur is a great place to visit in Wallonia, considering it is the capital city of Wallonia. The town's most prominent site is the Citadel of Namur, now demilitarized and open to the public. Namur has a picturesque old town where the cobblestone lanes are dotted with sunny cafes, bookstores, and vintage shops, catering in part to Namur's vibrant student population. Our first stop in Namur was a visit to the Saint-Loup Church, which is a 17th century Catholic church with stunning Baroque architecture. Saint-Loup Church is classified as an exceptional heritage of Wallonia, given the impressive interior and quality of the decor. The church is located in the historic heart of Namur and is considered one of the best examples of Baroque art in the former southern Netherlands. Our next stop was to Saint-Aubin's Cathedral. It is famous for being the only church to be built in the academic late Baroque style and is a strikingly beautiful landmark. The interiors are adorned with intricate patterns and designs of fruits and flowers. Saint-Aubin's Cathedral is also part of the Wallonia's major heritage list. The major highlight in Namur, and probably one of the main reasons that people visit Namur, is the famous Citadel of Namur, which is located on a hill at the confluence of the Meuse and Sambre rivers. It is a medieval fortress with 7 kilometers of underground passages, gardens, views, and a golden statue of a giant turtle. The citadel was once a residence for the Counts of Namur in the Middle Ages, then transformed into a holiday home by King Leopold II. It now functions as a sought-out location for events, guided visits, and walks with spectacular views over the city. We personally went on a guided tour of the underground of the Namur Citadel, and this takes you through the Citadel's military past by immersing you through the 7 kilometers of underground war tunnels. The visit is accompanied by video mapping projections and other installations that enrich the experience and make it a really fun attraction. We finished off our day relaxing in the hot tub at our accommodation, enjoying some Belgian chocolate and sparkling wine. What a great way to enjoy Belgium. Our next stop on our tour of Wallonia was to the town of Dinant. Dinant is only 30 minutes away from Namur and is easily reached by train. Do keep in mind that there is a different Dinant located in France, which we actually featured in a video that we did a few years back during our time visiting France, but this Dinant is in fact located in Belgium. Dinant, Belgium is probably most famous for being the hometown of the saxophone inventor Adolphe Sax, which is prominently displayed on the main bridge in town. It's also known for the stunning Dinant Citadel and for its breathtaking scenery with the steep cliffs and Meuse River. Dinant is often considered to be the most beautiful town in Belgium. The city's landmark is the Collegiate Church of Notre-Dame de Dinant, a 13th century Gothic cathedral. It was rebuilt in the Gothic style on its old foundations after falling rocks from the adjacent cliff partially destroyed the former Romanesque style church in the year 1227. Dinant is such a cute, picturesque town and great to just walk around and take in the surrounding beauty. During our stay in Dinant, we headed out on a circular loop hike from Bouillon Castle to Veuve Castle. The hike took several hours to complete and took you through forested parks and open Belgian countryside. The main highlight of the hike in our view was visiting Veuve Castle itself. The castle is classified as an exceptional monument and is one of the most remarkable specimens of 15th century military architecture. It is considered to be one of the most beautiful medieval castles in Belgium and is classified as a major heritage site of Wallonia. After a self-guided tour of the castle, we enjoyed a snack at the cafe at the castle entrance, and the views overlooking the castle were amazing. The next place that we want to feature is the town of Bouillon. In order to reach Bouillon, we took a train from Dinant to the town of Libremont, and then a bus to Bouillon. Bouillon is located in southern Belgium near the French border, surrounded by hills and the river Semois. The most important historic site in Bouillon is its majestic castle. The Château de Bouillon is the face of the town, and visiting is one of the top things to do in Bouillon. We enjoyed staying at the Auberge de Jeunesse de Bouillon, which is a youth hostel in Bouillon. It is on the top of a hill and offers great views of the Bouillon area. Our first stop of the day in Bouillon was a visit to the Château de Bouillon. Constructed in the 10th century on a strategic crossroads between Reims, Liège, and Aix-la-Chapelle, the chateau was, in the 18th century, radically rebuilt by Vauban and is now considered to be one of the most beautiful medieval castles in Belgium. We enjoyed a self-guided tour of the castle, exploring the many passageways and historic rooms. During the visit, we were able to attend one of the falconry demonstrations which take place between March through November every year. It was a neat experience seeing the different types of birds of prey up close. The demonstration was only in French, so although we couldn't understand much of what the falconer said, we still very much enjoyed the experience. You can continue your self-guided tour after the demonstration, so we headed up to the top of the castle for some amazing panoramic views of the cute town of Bouillon below. Bouillon is such a picturesque town and definitely one of our favorite highlights of our trip to Belgium. We simply enjoyed walking through the cute town and along the riverfront, taking in the views of the medieval buildings and bridge. We enjoyed some iced coffee and drinks in the patio of Baum Food and Drinks restaurant. It was a great way to relax but still enjoy the views of the town and castle. We returned to the castle at night for an evening torchlight tour of Bouillon Castle. The tour begins around 9:30 p.m. with regular tours happening in either Dutch or French. You may be able to book an English tour during peak times in the summer. However, when we visited, only Dutch and French tours were offered. Luckily though, when we arrived, they grouped us with a Dutch group who were happy to have the tour conducted in English, which was very kind of the tour guide as well as the guests who were on this tour with us. When you arrive, you're given a large torch that slowly burns throughout the tour and acts as your only source of light. Your guide is dressed in medieval clothing and provides a really interesting history of the castle as you explore the passageways, rooms, and dungeons at night. It was a really neat experience and was quite a highlight that I cannot recommend enough if you're visiting Bouillon. Moving along to our next attraction in Wallonia is Durbuy. Durbuy claims to be the smallest city in the world, and it is certainly one of the most compact tourist destinations in Wallonia. With only 400 residents in its center, Durbuy's title comes from King John of Bohemia, Count of Luxembourg, who gave it city status in the year 1331. Just a random practical side note, if you like us are visiting this region and are cooking your own meals, we did find it interesting that there are no grocery or convenience stores in this particular town. The number of tourists far outnumber the amount of locals living here, which is a plausible reason. If you are taking the train like we were, be aware that the nearest train station, Barbeau, is quite far away from the town. Luckily for us, our host was friendly enough to pick us up and drive us to our accommodation. We enjoyed simply walking around the town, taking in the cute stone houses and cobblestone streets. Bouillon Castle is a prominent landmark in the small town, located beside the river and main bridge. We also enjoyed a visit to Topiary Park, which is a pretty botanical garden filled with topiary designs and flowers. We bought tickets for a self-guided tour of the garden, which also featured cool art displays. After exploring the town for the day, we finished up with dinner at a local restaurant with some delicious local Durbuy beer. Alright, for our final stop in Wallonia was the city of Liège. Liège is the largest city of Wallonia, and it became one of the most important river ports in Western Europe and among the largest rail centers in Belgium. We enjoyed a self-guided walk through the city, taking in some of the major highlights that the city has to offer. A standout building in the city would definitely have to be St. Bartholomew's Church. St. Bartholomew's Church is an 11th century church built in coal sandstone in the Meuse Romanesque Ottonian architectural style. One of the most popular landmarks of Liège is the Montagne de Buren. There are a total of 374 steps, but the climb is definitely worth it for the views at the top. In fact, it was named the most extreme staircase in the world by the Huffington Post in 2013. The stairs, surrounded by houses on both sides, lead to the Citadel, which boasts a great view of the city. A unique feature of Liège is what is called a l'impasse. It includes lots of stairs and tiny hidden alleys. Basically, an impasse is a dead-end street lined with cute little houses. Another major highlight in Liège is the beautiful Liège Cathedral, otherwise known as St. Paul's Cathedral. Founded in the 10th century, it was rebuilt from the 13th to the 15th century and restored in the mid-19th century. The church boasts many remarkable works, most notably being the 16th century stained glass windows. The cloisters are also a great place to see during your visit to Liège Cathedral. Alright everyone, that is it for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed exploring Wallonia with us, and hopefully you'll check out our other videos in Belgium if you haven't already. If you want to help support our channel, please consider giving a comment, like, subscribe, or a tip with the super thanks button, and stay tuned for future videos on this channel because we have a lot more content coming out for you guys. See you at the next one. Bye!